I still think Golden State's going to make it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. Win it there, and they're going to be the Finals champions.
Oh, my God.
That's going to happen.
What is Gucci, Manucci's? Darwin TV here, and today is episode 5 of the Half Court Podcast, and I have my co-host, Oscar. Hey, I got to say, for the first time, the audio is going to be available, so keep an eye on that. It's going to be on Spotify. But in this episode, just to recap of what we're going to talk about, there's just one word to it. It's free agency. Free agency was quite the soap opera, quite the drama queen, and we're gonna dive deep into it. What I'm gonna start off first is the elephant in the room, right? Kawhi Leonard finally made his decision close to midnight. I would say it was at 1 o'clock Central Time. Kawhi Leonard goes to the Clippers, signs a max contract, and brings my guy Paul George with him. How lovely is that?
So Kawhi Leonard changed up a lot of things because we have to think about this. We were waiting for his piece to fall, but so were all these NBA teams that were thinking they were going to get him. Kawhi Leonard not only made sure that he got his place, but he also made sure that many other teams got kind of screwed in the deal because a lot of teams were waiting for him.
Yes,
a lot of teams were
especially
affected by him not coming to them. Because of it, Kevin Durant went to a team that didn't offer him a Supermax. New York Knicks didn't even offer him the max money because they thought they were going to get all of them for a moment, so they're trying to get all the key pieces. The moment you start waiting, people start getting angry and start going to all these places. But apart from this, the best pickup that Los Angeles picked up was Paul George, which is a great deal for the Thunder, more than anything that has ever happened for this organization.
A great deal for the Thunder, man. I don't know what to say, man. I don't even know where to begin with, honestly. I wake up, like I mentioned on my previous video, I went to, potty break at 4 in the morning, and I wake up to that news. I couldn't believe it. Like, what could cause such thing? Like, what could cause Sam Presti to be like, you know what? Leave to the team you want. Like, if I was Sam Presti, I would like, you know what? I'm gonna send you to Minnesota. I'm gonna send you to what's the worst team than Minnesota?
Minnesota Timberwolves.
Not the. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying city wise.
Charlotte.
Where?
Charlotte.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you have to remember, he had a no trade clause. That means that Paul George, as well as Russell, they have no trade clause, so they can choose which teams they want to get traded to. So if you come in to Paul George and say, "Hey, I'm going to send you over to San Antonio or wherever you don't want to go," he can just say, "No, you can't do that. It's in my contract." So he said, "Yeah, I want to be traded out of here."
So my thing is, what caused this whole chaos? Because I was like, even though we were gonna maybe be a second round exit, possibly a first round exit, I was like, I'm still looking forward to these matchups, like Paul George and Westbrook against AD and LeBron. Like, I was looking forward to those kind of matchups, but the Thunder team, my Thunder team, went to shit, and I'm pissed. I am devastated. I am done. Like, this is probably like the last time I'm gonna be repping this jersey proudly, because Westbrook, who knows? He's gonna be gone
tomorrow.
He could be gone.
Yeah. And you got to think about this. You said you hit the nail right on the head. You said the Thunder for the last 2 years had been first round exits against people in their same division, not just the same conference, the same division. 2 years ago against Utah, this year against Portland. That Northwest division is going to keep getting better and better and better. And Sam Presti read it, and he said, "We can't beat these teams in our own division, let alone the rest of the conference. We're going to have to do what I've been saying for a while: tank." Follow the process.
I gotta give it to you, man. You said it loud and clear last podcast, I think, and that's what they're gonna have to do. Yeah. That's what, my thing is, like, who is gonna give Westbrook who's gonna take Westbrook's contract, because he is what, 31, 32?
Mm-hmm. He's played 11 years
here. Yes,
he still has 4 years left, $170 million on that contract left.
As the years go by, it keeps going up, so it's gonna be more expensive.
It's going to be really expensive. So we have to figure this out. He has a no-trade clause, like I just said. There are a few teams that are somewhat interested. I've been hearing rumors that the Los Angeles Lakers still need a point guard. Now, they said that they're somewhat interested in getting Russell's contract, but they also want more key pieces. They said, we'll take him as well as a first-round pick. That way you keep a lot of money, Oklahoma City, and you can do whatever you want with it. The problem with that is the chemistry issues are going to happen badly for the Los Angeles Lakers, and all the teams that he probably should do very well in, he doesn't want to go to those cities.
Right.
The biggest three names that I've heard overall that he's thinking about are Miami, number 1 overall. Number 2 is some New York Knicks for still some reason that I don't know. And the Los Angeles Lakers is a team that he's somewhat also interested in going. But the Lakers don't want to push in all that money available for him.
And here's my thing with Russell, man. I love Russell, and like, there's things I love and hate about Russell. The thing I love about Russell is his energy, his competitive nature, everything as far as just putting the energy in every single game. The thing I hate about Russell is his basketball decision. Like he makes sometimes he's a ball dominant player. That's one, which I don't think he's going to fit with the Lakers because LeBron is one of the guys that needs the ball in his hands a lot. So does Westbrook. I don't see Westbrook playing off ball. So I think that's not going to work. And that's the thing I don't like about Westbrook is just like he just can't settle as a true point guard. Like he just can't. Or he can't take the role of a shooting guard, score. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he can
doesn't
do
make
both.
your team better.
I think he can do both. But it's just a matter of if he's capable, if he wants to do it. And I don't think he fits with the Lakers. I would love to see that happen, honestly, but like I don't think he fits.
I don't think so either here, man. But are there any other big decisions that you wanted to look into?
Well, I'm still shocked, man. And I want to say this
shocked?
and get this out of my chest. Paul George, you're not winning. You're not winning in the Clippers. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't like it that we traded Paul George at all.
I don't.
And I get that. He was possibly about to be an MVP.
What happened to the unfinished business?
He had an
What
MVP.
happened to that, man? Paul George, you broke my heart, man. I'm waiting for the unfinished business, my guy. You're just the last memory I have about this guy is him getting a banger from Damian Lillard from half court and calling it a bad shot. That's the last memory we have about this guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't come up with that BS letter. Oh, thank you, Oklahoma City, for the 2 years. Boy, you was injured, and you also got a half-court shot made in your face by a point guard. Don't come up with that. It was an amazing ride, motherfucker, because it wasn't. Unfinished business, my ass. Anyways.
I already knew he was going to leave. This is a little bit of a story. When he was still in Oklahoma City, in our school, we called Paul George up, and we said, hey, can you come and do like a closing announcements or the morning announcements for the school? And he said, yeah, sure, why not? He never came. Instead, he sent a replacement. He sent over Jeremy Grant. I was like, I like Jeremy Grant. Great guy. But he wasn't Paul George.
Yes.
That kind of already told me he probably doesn't care about the city as much as he kept leaning on. Now, I just kept that story to myself because I just thought, like, no big deal. Now it's noticing as a little bit bigger deal. But as I said back, I think it's a good trade for the Thunder, even though everyone's upset about it. I was shocked by it. But you get all these draft picks. You have 3 protected free agents for sure in the top 10. And apart from this, it's almost like looking at the Herschel Walker trade in football for the Dallas Cowboys when they traded one player and they got 6 or 7 in return. We got a lot of picks in return. And one of those players could develop to be an MVP caliber player and then some key pieces. And all of this happened because we traded Oladipo, it's a bonus, years ago. We traded these 2 okay players for 6 people in our roster for the upcoming years. So that's why I'm thinking it's a good trade. Obviously, we gave up an MVP caliber player, but overall, I think it's a good trade for the Thunder in the long run.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, but Westbrook gets traded, there goes my chances. Like, I'm not going to any Thunder game. I'm not. I don't see it. I don't see the excitement unless it's like against the Lakers where I want to see LeBron play or an exciting player of the opposite team. But there goes that, man. The excitement of the Thunder, like the Thunder era, I think it's over. I think July is one of the months I really hate.
It's okay.
It's just terrible. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
But we'll leave it at that. I know for a fact I'm rooting against the Clippers, and I know the Lakers are the new, well, not the new, they're still the kings of L.A. Just throwing it out
They
there.
retook their throne. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But let's just jump into the other thing on free agency here. here's one thing that I'm going to talk about is the Kevin Durant and Kyrie thing. And you correct me if I'm wrong, which I'm not anyways. So here's the thing about Kyrie and Kevin Durant, right? And I mentioned this on my video as well, but Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City. One of the main reasons was Russell Westbrook, right? Russell Westbrook being a ball-dominant player, hard to play with at times. He left, goes to Golden State, wins 2 titles, and then bounces to the Nets.
Right.
Gets Kyrie Irving with him. My thing is, Kyrie Irving is also a ball-dominant player, as ball-dominant as Russell Westbrook. So if we compare it, right, when KD played with Russell, Russell's usage was at 30.7% usage rate.
Yes.
Kyrie Irving's last year with the team that he had was at 30.4. Wow. Not much of a difference.
Right.
With the team that he had.
Yes.
Now, my thing is, like, how is it going to work? How is the chemistry going to work? Who's going to take the last shot? And Durant, you picked another Westbrook, a ball-dominant player.
You did. But you also have to think about it is it's going to take Kevin Durant a few more months for him to get back into the court. So he may not even show up until the very end of the season. So that's why I also say the Nets are not going to be good at all this year, or as good as their potential as everyone thinks they're going to be.
Do they make it to the playoffs?
It's going to be just because they're in the Eastern Conference. Just because of that reason alone, I think they're going to be a 6 seed, if not a little bit lower. I don't think they're going to be a top 5
I would
overall.
say 7. I got 7.
So that's one thing. So that means they're going to go up against a really good team in the first round with Kyrie Irving primarily leading the team because he's been the leader the whole year.
He's taking
and
the
then
spotlight.
Durant's going to come in thinking he's still possibly one of the best players on the planet, and he's going to be wondering why he's not getting the ball, and it's not going to be a pretty situation in Brooklyn. Brooklyn fans are excited now, but just wait because Kevin Durant's true colors are going to show up here momentarily.
So you're agreeing with me?
For the first time ever, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I don't remember if I gave you, you said it. I mentioned the tanking. You did call out the tanking for the Thunder. Just wanted to mention that. Get that out of the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, at least you got one right, Anyways.
Hey, a broken clock's right twice a day.
So the Brooklyn Nets ended up winning. They took the throne. They came out of nowhere. It was all Knicks. But hey, guess what? The Knicks got Ty Gibson and who's the other one? Randall. Yay.
And maybe Russell Westbrook. Possibly. Don't really know yet.
The Knicks. Now, if you were the Knicks, would you be happy with the main?
No.
The decisions.
If you're the Knicks, if you're a Knicks fan.
So if you were the Knicks owner, what would you have done? Better than what happened?
I would have offered Kevin Durant the max.
Oh yeah,
that's one.
Oh yeah, they screwed up big time there.
So Kevin Durant, he always thinks he's getting disrespected by every team he's played with. He said he wasn't getting the credit he deserved in Golden State, and you heard the comments that Green was making over to Durant. This isn't really your team, man. You don't have all the caliber pieces for us to be hearing you out. So that he felt disrespected with those comments. In Oklahoma City, he felt disrespected by Sam Presti when he won the MVP. Because if we remember back in the day, when the moment that Kevin Durant won his first MVP, Nike wanted to put a big poster right outside the stadium and also inside the stadium. It's almost like that big one that LeBron James had in Cleveland. And Sam Presti said, no, you cannot do that because you are not bigger than this team. Kevin Durant didn't like that, and he left. He felt disrespected. Now he's going to an organization that he thinks are going to treat me well. We have a lot of connections because of Jay-Z and his brand, and Kyrie is also a part of that brand as well, if you think about it. So he's trying to get all those pieces together. And if the Knicks don't offer you the max, he felt disrespected again. That's his whole persona. He just wants to be respected in the league, and he thinks he should be getting way more things than everyone else. That's why a lot of people call him soft as well. It's always just the small things that he cares about. It's not the big picture things for me, which is very odd of Kevin Durant.
Yeah, the only excitement going to the Knicks is just maybe to see how RJ Barrett develops, and then Kevin Knox.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Because Randall maybe might do something, maybe.
Randall.
Hey, he dropped 35 on Enes, by the way. Enes was calling him what? Another Zion?
Yeah, and Enes Kanter also didn't get much help from Portland. Enes Kanter also didn't get much love at all. He left because Portland said, I think you're also a scrub. You're gone.
He still got underpaid with the Celtics. I think what kills Enes Kanter, because he's a good guy and he wants to be loyal to the team, but I think it's his defense. If he improves defensively, I think teams will keep him more because he's getting tossed around like nothing, you know?
Yeah, but teams always pick him up. He's always going to be an okay player in the league. He's never going to be a ball dominant. He's not going to be a great player that can change up the outcome. He's always going to be a key nog, so he's always going to be helpful in every place that he goes to. And he only cares about his team that he's currently on. So a lot of people do like him and respect him for that reason. But Enes Kanter, it is what it is at this point. And he's only just going to be offensively. He was only offensively in Oklahoma City, by the way, too.
Yeah. That's correct. So going to another free agency, I got to give a lot of props to my guy D Wade. He recruited Jimmy Butler, which I did not see that coming, just by a tweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
not that the Heat are going to do wow, but hey, they got Jimmy Butler there.
The playoffs.
Say what?
I believe that they can make the playoffs this year.
You think? They don't got Whiteside anymore, though.
Let me.
I don't think they make it to the playoffs. I just don't. I don't see it.
I think Jimmy Butler's good enough to make it to a playoffs.
I don't see Jimmy Butler as a leader. I kind of see him like more of a Kyrie kind of situation where he wants to be the leader, but he doesn't have what it takes to be a leader.
Possibly.
He wasn't the leader in the Sixers. He wasn't the leader in Minnesota. He was just their closer.
He was a pretty good leader in Chicago, though.
In Chicago, he was.
Yeah.
Because he was not worried about all this drama. In Chicago, there wasn't much drama until the end.
Yeah, so he's going to have the good situation back here in Miami. He's going to be the leader because nobody else is going to be that leader.
I don't think
they've already had establishment over in Minnesota. They had really like 3 good players there already, and then he showed up. And the same thing happened in Philadelphia. They already had 3 good players, and then he showed up again. Now he's going to a team that has nobody. He's going to be able to do a lot of great things there by himself again, and he's going to make it to the playoffs. He's going to be a first-round exit, but he'll be doing great things in Miami. But apart from that, you have to remember, Houston wanted to pick his contract up too. Houston was begging to get him.
But who are you going to get for him, though?
Well, that's the point. They were asking for a lot, and at the end of the day, I think Houston made a great decision by not getting him because he is bad in chemistry. He wants to be the guy, but there are already guys that are already been established. So I think he made the right decision to go to Miami. Houston made the right decision to not do anything. So overall, I think it's an okay decision for him to be there.
I don't know. I think
it's not, like no one is getting hurt by this. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. They don't make it to the playoffs.
No one's getting any better, but no one's getting hurt.
I don't think they make it to the playoffs, but we'll see how that goes. It's just Jimmy Butler and then the 305 mate. Maybe he can convince Wade to come out of retirement. Psych.
I would love that.
I would have loved it too. I wouldn't mind. I think Dwayne Wade definitely had at least a year or an extra 2 years.
Be
left.
a good bench player.
Yeah.
He's still loved.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. But the next free agency pretty much that I want to talk to is Kemba Walker, man. I think when I look at Kemba Walker and the Celtics, what I think the Celtics should have done with Kemba Walker, well, not even Kemba Walker, just in general, they should have kept Rozier as their starting point guard and could have signed more key players. Because they gave Kemba a max contract, which to me did not make sense because it's like Kyrie Irving, like you get Kemba Walker, you send him to a max deal, but you lose Kyrie Irving, which Kemba Walker is nowhere near. He's good, but not nowhere near as good as Kyrie Irving. But why didn't you just keep Rozier as a starting point guard, give him a good contract, and use the rest of the money to bring key players?
Yeah, I disagree, but yeah. I like the logic that you made. I love the logic. The problem is that you're wrong.
Why?
The reason I'm saying you're wrong is that Kemba Walker did not have a great supporting staff around him because Jordan never made a good team in Charlotte. Can we agree on that one at least? That he never got the key pieces necessary in Charlotte.
Yeah.
And so if we also look at it, he wanted to stay in Charlotte. I said if they offer him the Supermax, he should stay.
Right. But if he stays, he's going to be in the same boat.
Exactly. And I said if anybody ever offers you Supermax, go get your money. They did not offer him the Supermax, so he left. And a team that is willing to pay for him was a decently good team already in Boston, but Boston has a very, very bad reputation now with players. They are a great organization that thinks mindly of how to win, but they don't care about how the players feel at all winning. You can see that with Isaiah. And then because of Isaiah's situation, that led to Anthony Davis not wanting to go to Boston. That led to a lot of other great players saying, I don't think I want to stay here. Like Al Horford, he said, I want to get out of this situation as well. And other great players said, I don't know if this is a team that's going to treat me if I get injured like Kevin Durant got injured. If I was Klay Thompson, I don't know if this team would pay me. So Kemba went to the greatest team that he had a great opportunity to win because they already have good players around him. And he said, I just want the best opportunity for me. And with the team that he has now, he can do something. He's going to go far
They're
in
a
the
second
Eastern
round
Conference.
exit.
What?
They're a second round exit.
That's debatable.
Yes.
I think they're
Second
going
round
to make
exit.
it. I think they're going to make it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, lose there.
No, they're a
That's-
second round exit.
No,
They're not.
They're going
not.
all the way.
So you think Kemba's a better fit than Kyrie?
Yes. Because Kemba doesn't want to be the man, and Kyrie did. And Kemba's more of a team player. And he's basically the same to me. He's
No.
basically going to be the great player that he wants to be. Obviously, I've always said that Kyrie can finish with both hands because he's ambidextrous.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I think Kemba's just as good.
We'll see how that goes. I think they're a second round exit. And like I said, to me, it did not make sense. I would rather have Rozier as a starting point guard and sign other key players, maybe try to get rid of Gordon Hayward. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that unfolds. Anyways.
They're not going to get rid of Gordon Hayward because the coach was his college coach when they were back in the day. So there's no way he's going to get rid of him. He already has a relationship built with him. That's why they kept him. When he got injured, they re-signed him for like you're saying, like it was kind of shocking they re-signed him because he's not as great player. But it's always who you know and what relationships you build rather than what you're doing at times.
Yeah. We'll see how that unfolds. Like I said, I gotta see. I'm just gonna say pretty much going to the Celtics and Al Horford. The Sixers look nice, and I think the Sixers are gonna make it to the conference finals. I think it is. I think they obviously lost Jimmy Butler and was it JJ Redick?
Mm-hmm.
But hey, they look nice. They look pretty big. They got Al Horford, Joel Embiid. You got Simmons. Who else?
Harrison Barnes.
Oh, the guy from the Heat. Is it Josh?
Well, you think about this. Every single player you named off are kind of big guys, right? You said they got bigger.
Yeah.
They
But you
didn't
got to
get-
keep in
They
mind,
didn't get better in the three-point line.
they can spread the floor. Al Horford can shoot threes.
Not as well as Jimmy Butler can.
Not as well, but it's a big man that can stretch the floor.
Yeah, I mean, but you saw the same thing that happened over in Detroit. They got big guys, and last time I checked, if you have a good team now, the three-point line is more dominant than trying to shoot all the twos all the time because Golden State proved that years ago. They said, we need to start shooting more threes, and usually games would end close to 100, like they would get maybe 100 at the most. Now games are going all the way to about 120 as the final score because teams are shooting way more threes than ever before and making them at a higher percentage because of all these stats, because of all these analytics and everything that's going on. So I don't think Philadelphia got better. I think they got worse. And a team that I told you about, Golden State, they didn't get any better this year. They're getting worse. So, I mean,
Sixers are making it to the conference finals. That's it.
They're going to lose to Boston.
We'll have to see that.
They're going to lose to Boston in the second round.
I don't know if I mentioned it, but
that's how confident I am.
I think the chemistry with Tobias Harris, like he doesn't want to be the man, and you got Horford that doesn't want to be the man. It's just like I think it's going to be a more team effort than like who's going to shoot this, who's going to take the next shot. I think it's more going to be a team effort. I think the ball movement, chemistry is going to be better with Ben Simmons running the point. I like my chances, and I said, conference finals.
I don't think that Brown is a good enough coach to get them there.
They were one shot away from advancing.
Did they make it?
One shot away from advancing to the conference finals.
They didn't.
It was Kawhi Leonard's lucky bounce. Kawhi Leonard's lucky bounce.
There's a reason he won Finals MVP.
Anyways.
By the way, the only player last time I checked to win Finals MVP by both conferences.
Yeah, the second best player in the world.
Yeah, best player in the world.
Yeah, no, the second best player.
Best
in the world.
player.
Huh?
Best player in the world.
Ha! Anyways, this is something that like was really gonna get me like upset, and like I was looking into it and like saying, damn man, why is this player not getting signed? Why is not getting meetings or a contract? And all of a sudden, boom, you know who I'm talking about, right? Boogie.
Mm-hmm.
And I said it, the Lakers should pick him up. They need to pick him. They need to pick him up. That was a good acquiry for the Lakers to pick Boogie up, because that's Davis and Boogie played pretty darn good. So I'm excited to see that.
You know what the scary part was?
What?
Oklahoma City had the opportunity to pick him up too, and they didn't want to offer him a little bit more money because he wanted to come here.
It's Sam Presti, man. That there's your guy, man. You talk to him all the time, but I'm so glad that he got picked up by the Lakers because, first of all, I think Boogie is a player that can get not a max contract, but can get a decent contract. I think he had his ups and downs in the finals, but he also apported. He had clutch moments, and it's Boogie, man. I think he's still a dominant player, so I like that. I think the chemistry is going to be pretty good with AD, Boogie, and LeBron. It's going to look nice.
Yeah, well, and you also got to think about it too. Is Boogie Cousins, he bet on himself last year, and I always like it when players bet on themselves. He had an opportunity to be in New Orleans for 4 years and get a lot of money. He was going to get paid close to $26 million a year. Instead, he went to Golden State for 1 year and got paid the mid-range, which was about 8. Now he's getting a little bit more money to be in Los Angeles, and he's going to be a whole lot better in Los Angeles because he only got maybe a month in of practice during the regular season. Now he's going to have all this off season to work. He's going to have that entire regular season. So when the playoffs start, he'll be able to capitalize on his gains. And then that next contract he gets, he's probably going to get a lot of money. So I think he did a good job being with the Lakers. He's going to do really well. And the Lakers have a great opportunity to be in the Western Conference Finals, if not win the entire thing. Now, I still don't know if they're going to make it that far because the West is packed and the Eastern Conference doesn't look that bad because, like we just said, the NBA got more diversified, and you can't just willy-nilly just say, like, Golden State's going to win it easily like they've always done. It's going to be a lot tougher.
Right. No. The NBA right now got a lot better, and I got to thank Kawhi Leonard. I'm a little mad that he took a last-minute decision, but at the end of the day, he did was right. You know, like he balanced the NBA because he could have been like, I would have signed with the Lakers. Keep in mind, though, if the Clippers weren't to pull off the Paul George thing, he probably would have signed with the Lakers because he wanted at least a superstar next to him. So I got to give props to him. He was like, he could have been like, I'm going to go to the Lakers and win 3 titles in a row.
It's true.
But he didn't do it. He balanced it out. I think he ain't going to win for that. He wants to be a loser, but yeah. I got to thank him for balancing the NBA. The NBA is exciting. I don't know who's going to win it. Like, it's literally that. Like, it's just a 2-man show. And every team, the majority of the teams have 2 superstars per team. So it's like, it's awesome. It's awesome. I like it. Now, jumping into one of, to me, was really shocking was the trade for Andre Iguodala. And then they acquired D'Angelo Russell, which Golden State really wanted to mess with the Lakers because that's where I think the Lakers mess up and screw up big time is announcing what they're going to do, what they want to go after. Because we can give you a perfect example. The Clippers did not say anything. Nobody thought they were even a contender for Kawhi Leonard. All of a sudden, they're out of the picture. And then, boom, they make a trade for Paul George. Boom, they sign Kawhi Leonard midnight without saying a single word. And that's where the fucking Lakers, excuse my French, that's where the Lakers screw up a lot. Because as soon as the rumors were like, oh, they're going to go after D'Angelo Russell, boom, Golden State's like, no.
Yeah, because you got to think about it. What did I always tell you? A good organization starts from the very top. Who's at the top of the Lakers? Jeannie Buss, right?
Yes.
Jeannie Buss is not very good at organizing this whole thing. Now, let's look at the Clippers. Who is the Clippers running the whole thing right now?
Is it Jerry West?
The logo. Jerry West is primarily doing everything. Jerry West built a dominant team when he was in what team? Golden State. He made the whole thing happen. Now he's trying to do the whole thing happen again with the Clippers. He is a genius. He won championships in his own right playing basketball in college. He won championships when he won the logo. I think he won a championship when he was playing the NBA, and he's won way more as a president of an organization in the NBA. He knows what he's doing, and that's why I always say good organization starts at the top. and West is doing his job phenomenally.
I got to give a lot of props to him, but like the Iggy thing kind of took me off guard because I wasn't expecting. I think he was a valuable piece to that team, but at the same time, he's also declining. I feel like most of the time he's hurt. You know, in the playoffs, he tends to be hurt a lot, but I think any team can get value out of him because he's a championship veteran, a finals MVP. And I thought the Lakers were going to pick him up, but then again, rumors say that Memphis are not willing to, they were going to buy him out, but they want to trade for him because they feel like they can get something out of him.
Well, Andre Iguodala also messed up too.
Why?
He went on a podcast, he went on a thing, and he started opening his mouth.
Yes, I think that would cause a trade.
Never say anything negative about your organization. If I said anything negative about the school district that I worked for, they would not look at me very lightly. I always say great things about where I work at. If he just would have said good things about where he worked at, it would have been great.
Even if it's not true.
Even if it's not true. Even though I say amazing things about Oklahoma City Public Schools, because that is true. But Andre does not do that. He just said his own opinion. The best thing he could have done was just not go. That way he would have been with the organization, and the organization truly needs him. But I also still think that Golden State got better because of this free agency.
How?
Well, they needed Andre to stay on that team when Kevin Durant was there because he was kind of able to fix up all the issues. He was kind of the team guy, the team chemistry guy. That's what everybody always knew him as. It's in his book. He said every time there was an argument, he would be able to calm everybody down. He'd be able to fix all these issues. Now you look at Golden State. Golden State goes from a team that basically had an easy ride the entire time. They said they got tired of winning, that they needed a little bit of competition because some teams gave them zero competition. And Kerr always had to do things to make sure that the team was always in somewhat good morale, even though they kept winning. Keep winning doesn't always translate to making you happy. You kind of want to struggle to get that win.
Right.
At times they didn't. Now they get rid of Kevin Durant, who was injured, who wasn't going to be able to play that well, and he never had the greatest team chemistry with everybody there. Because when Golden State won the 72 games or 73 games, they did it all with Steph and Klay primarily. Now you get rid of Kevin Durant that wants to be a little bit more ball dominant, and you bring in D'Angelo, and D'Angelo is going to be able to spread the floor out way more. He's not going to want the ball as much. He's going to be able to say, "Here you go, Steph. I believe in you. Here you go, Klay. I believe in you. I'm going to be able to spread the floor out way more." So I think Golden State's going to be able to fight for things better. They're going to be a little bit more intensified because they're going to know it's not going to be a cakewalk. We're going to have to struggle a little bit, and now we finally get to see how good of a coach Kerr is. I still think Golden State's going to make it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. Win it there, and they're going to be the Finals champions.
Oh, my God.
That's going to happen.
They are barely making it to number 9. They're not making it to
number
the playoffs.
9?
They're not, bro, they're not. Look.
You're saying they're not even going to make the playoffs?
Isn't even as good as Klay Thompson, bro.
D'Angelo was an all-star last year. He took the Nets from nothing to somewhere. He got them there.
Nets, though. That's the weak East Conference. Like, come on.
He became an all-star. He deserved to be in the All-Star game.
He's not even better than Iggy right now.
I just said you don't need Iguodala anymore because they're going to have a better chemistry.
Oh, my
Are you kidding me? They're going to be so much better.
You said to the Western Conference Finals?
More offense, better technique.
Do you want me to end the podcast right now? Oscar, come on.
They're going to be in the conference finals. They're going to win it. You're going to see them. They're going to see confetti falling down in San Francisco. First time ever in that city.
Oh, my God. Yo, when Skip Bayless retires, Fox, please hire this guy, man. This is the perfect guy.
I'm telling you now, man.
You know what? Like I said, they're not making it to the playoffs. They're not. D'Lo is just not that guy, man. He's still in development.
I didn't say he was going to be the guy. I said he still has Steph Curry on one side. You're still going to have Klay when he comes back to the playoffs. D'Angelo can hit threes. You're still going to have a great team. And they got most of their people to sign back up. They have a little bit more money now. This is a good time to be a Golden State fan.
You know what should have happened is Kevin Durant should have waited for this trade to happen. PG go to the Clippers, and Kevin Durant should have went back to OKC. Redemption.
What?
Redemption.
With nobody on your team.
Russell Westbrook. Adams. Grant. Ferguson, Roberson,
Jesus Christ. These are the players you're naming off?
Noel.
Nerlens
What do you
Noel?
think? Yeah. What do you think about that? I would have been I had him in the conference finals if that was the case.
Jesus Christ. No. Oh my
Yes.
God. Look, I told you this. I told you this a while ago that I was able to speak with my school, and my school was able to get Jeremy Grant and his foundation to help out FD Moon Academy this year in Oklahoma City Public Schools. And I said, I am glad Jeremy Grant's going to be here. And everybody looked at me and said, why didn't you get the Why Not Foundation? Jeremy Grant's, he's okay. He's not a great all-star. And you named him off in your big list. This is who Kevin Durant wants to play with? Jeremy Grant, Ferguson, and all these other players that you just kind of named off there at the bottom?
Yeah.
Oklahoma City doesn't have a great team right now. They have a developmental team. This team is going to be great in 4 years. That's what my timeline is, especially when now they got all these draft picks.
Look. What you don't consider is the first year that Billy Donovan took over the Oklahoma City Thunder, and a lot of people overlook this. They don't look. It was his first year. They made it to the conference finals. They were up 3-1. The rest was Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant should have closed it. You cannot blame Westbrook like a lot of people do for not closing it, because Westbrook put up solid numbers. Kevin Durant was the one struggling.
In a series.
Yeah. Yes.
So he kind of led the team mostly on his back with a little bit of help from the others.
Right.
Throughout the regular season and also through the playoffs until they win against Golden State.
Your job as a superstar is to close. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what Kawhi did? The final shot?
Okay, I'll give you that.
Isn't that what Kawhi did?
Yeah.
Against the Greek Freak?
Yeah.
Okay. I proved my point right there. There you go. So, as a superstar of the caliber of Kevin Durant, your job was to close that series. You had 3 opportunities to do it.
2 of them were in Oklahoma City.
Yes. There you go. So, to me, if it was the case that Kevin Durant decides to reunite with Westbrook and they stay with the team that they have, having Norris Noel, the pick that we had, I don't know, that scrub, and Adams and all the other players, I think OKC would have been in the conference finals with a healthy Durant.
I really don't know about that. And I have to say I don't know about that because the West is still packed. You still have really good teams, like I said. We lost to Portland last year. They were a 3 seed. The year before that, we lost to Utah. The Northwest Division was kind of up there. And then you also have Denver that's getting a whole lot better. You're going to see Denver in a lot more TV time with the Joker. You're going to see a lot of still great teams there. And I don't think they would have even made it that far, to be honest. I think they would have still been a first round. If not, maybe they got through the first round and been a second round exit at best.
Oh,
it wouldn't have happened.
Not a first round exit, that's for sure. I still would have him in the conference finals.
No.
Yeah.
That's a big what if moment. But like I told you, I tell you the facts here. The facts aren't always pretty. Like I just told you, Golden State's going to make it all the way again because those are facts.
Those are facts, ladies and gentlemen. Golden State to the conference finals, yes.
No, to the actual finals.
Oh, God. All right. Changing the subject. Let's just change the subject because, come on, man. They're not making it to the finals, period. They're not making it even to the playoffs. Anyways, going to the Summer League now, the hype was all about Zion Williamson. Sold out. Got all these superstars, which I never seen those many superstars in a Summer League. Now, Zion gets hurt in the third quarter because of a knee collision with some other player.
Mm-hmm.
What is the best solution for Zion? Because he clearly needs to get in condition. He looked a little out of condition. He hasn't been in the gym for quite a month or so. He needs to get back in condition. I think he needs to lose weight, at least a good 15 to 20 pounds. Because if you think about it, 82 games, dunking, that explosive, those knees cannot handle 280 pounds constantly, 270.
I disagree. For this reason, I think that he needs the size because he's dominant. People are going to be double teaming him. If he loses weight, He might be a little bit faster, but he's not going to be as aggressive. He won't be getting as much looked at. I think he's a perfect size right now. Overall, I still think he's going to have to be growing. He's going to be in a growing body because he's still going to be, 18, 19 years of age right now. He's still going to get a little bit bigger. He's going to be 300 pounds by the time this year is over, and he's going to be more dominant than ever.
He said 300 pounds. I'm dead. Nah.
It's all muscle. It's all muscle. He's going to be hitting the weight room. He'll be with me, the AD.
No, I think if anything, he'll probably grow an inch or two taller. If anything, he has to stay at that weight. If he goes over that, because I don't know what is his exact weight. I want to say 270 to 280, but he needs to either maintain that or lose a little bit, just a little bit, because you have a little bit of a point when you got to maintain some of the weight because of his game style and his height. But again, I think he needs to bring more to the table as far as score-wise, because he kind of looked pretty rough out there. He was getting his shots were getting blocked. It was
because now he's in the NBA.
Right. I think both parties had a terrible game. RJ Barrett didn't have much of a great game, and also Zion. So
yeah, because it's still the summer league. They're still trying to figure it all out. And you also got to think about this is you have two of the best players that came out of college from the same team, let alone. So you have a player that won first team all ACC from RJ Barrett, and they were both coming out of high school. They said RJ Barrett was going to be the very first player selected. He was the top high school player in the nation. It wasn't Zion. It was RJ. And then you also have Zion, who won the Best Player Overall award this past year as a freshman, which is pretty remarkable to say the least. So, in my opinion, I think Zion Williamson is going to do okay in the league, but it's going to still take him time. He reminds me of a Shaquille O'Neal because he was struggling on the free throw line. He was doing great things with like the 3-point line when he was in college. His jump shot
is slow. I think he needs to work on it. Yeah. It's just too slow.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, but he's still going to be dominant. That's why I told you he's going to be the best player for his team if they're able to put pieces around him that they need. And overall, I think he's going to do fine. It's just going to take him a while because he can't shoot threes. He has to realize this now. The NBA is going to eat him alive if he does this. RJ's going to be better than him.
Now that you mentioned threes, I want to get something out of my chest that I even forgot to mention while we were touching the topic. Ben Simmons got a fucking max contract, a juicy deal with a guy that doesn't have a jump shot. How do you feel about that?
That Ben Simmons deserved the money because Ben Simmons is possibly going to be one of the best players in our league.
I could agree.
And I mean, I say that because he is by far going to be one of the younger players, and all these other great players like LeBron James, they're going to be slowing down a little bit. They're going to be going downhill while he's going to be going up. And he's got great assists. He can see down the floor. He can do a lot of things with the ball himself. You don't need him to shoot threes. You need him to pass it. You need him to get the rebounds. You need him to get in clutch moments. So that's why I said Philadelphia is not going to make it that far because they don't have three-point shooters as much as they did last year with Jimmy Butler.
Which means he needs to shoot.
Which means Philadelphia needs to do their job and get people that can help him. You don't need to be the greatest thing at something. Let's look at Klay Thompson when he just dribbles down the floor. Klay Thompson is by far not the greatest dribbler. He just gets the ball, jumps, shoots the threes.
He can get wherever he wants though. Like he's not like
how many times have I seen him on not top 10 when he gets the ball? He takes like 3 bounces and loses it. He has the worst turnover percentage by any player in his position. That's why I'm saying he does not deserve. He deserved that money because he changed the game.
Here is why Klay Thompson is Klay Thompson is because nowadays this league is based off of threes. Not only that, Klay Thompson brings a lot to the table defensively. He can pass the ball, and he can shoot anywhere. Ben Simmons needs to develop because automatically if he had a jump shot, whether it's a mid-range jump shot or a 3, the team automatically is even better. He is more valuable to the team. I like Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons is going to get there. But if you're getting paid millions a year for just passing the ball, my guy, the least you can do is get a goddamn jump shot.
Look, I said Ben Simmons did need to work on a few things a while ago. But it's clear to me that he's not going to fix those things. So this is a form of leadership that I've always learned. If you're really good at something, keep getting better at that thing. He's a phenomenal passer, and he does pretty good on the inside. He's just going to keep getting better at those things. And teams need somebody like that. Do you agree that teams need a really good assist guy?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So if he does that, that's why I said Philadelphia needs to do their job and get people that can just shoot threes, and that's it. That's the only thing they need to do. You shouldn't rely on somebody just to keep doing something else that they're not great at. That's a form of great team leadership by helping out that player. That's what they should be doing. In reality, Philadelphia just doesn't know how to win teams because they don't have a great coach. They don't have great organization. They've only been following the process of tanking for years. Now they have the pieces, and they don't know what to do with them because they've never had that level of success before. That's why I keep saying Philadelphia is not going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals because they don't know what they're doing. They just have the pieces.
That's why
you
they
can
have 82
the pieces,
games.
but you still need to make the puzzle.
Right, and then you have 82 games to figure it out.
Yeah, and like I keep telling you, the season is way too long as it is. How does it take you 82 games and you still don't get it? I can teach somebody how to do something in like 5 games. I don't know what takes you so long to do things. 82 games and you still don't get it?
I don't know. I think they're going to figure it out.
They're going to
Conference
and
finals.
they have the preseason. That's the whole reason you have the preseason.
They still got it. They still got plenty of time to figure it out. Even if they figure it out late February,
Why
when
does
the
it
second,
take them so long?
even if it takes
Are
them
they
that
in my
long.
special
Look,
classes?
Look, Oscar. Look, you got to keep in mind that the Heat were in the same boat when they got together. They were in a losing streak. It was to the point where the headlines were, did we make the right decision? Everybody was questioning themselves, like if they made the right decision.
By getting LeBron?
No, because of the chemistry. They started off terrible. I don't remember the exact number, but they started off terrible. They made it to the finals. Yeah,
because they had a super team. And they had a really good coach that you guys don't mention very well. Spoelstra, yeah. Spoelstra is actually a really good coach.
He is decent, dog. He is decent. I'm sorry.
He's a lot better than people give him credit for. He kept the team going. He got them better through the chemistry issues. And that's what I said about Kerr.
The only thing I might agree with you is maybe Spoelstra is one of the best coaches that LeBron has had.
Yeah.
Because of Pat Riley, that's why I give it to
Spoelstra. Because you have to remember, he was the assistant of Pat Riley. He learned under his system. And then Pat Riley said, we'll all be the president of organizations to be able to help you, Eric Spoelstra. So he was able to help him way more than people think about. That's why Spoelstra is so much better than I think people give him credit for. You guys just keep saying, like, Spoelstra. No, Spoelstra is good. I want him to be running Oklahoma City instead of this scrub Billy Donovan that's only going to be a college coach.
I'm done with him. I'm done with Billy. Billy needs to be gone.
No, and you were just saying, Billy Donovan's so great. He's so great.
No,
the first year he went to the Western Conference Finals. I was like,
people overlook that. People overlook that. That's the only thing I give credit to Billy Donovan is just you give him, you just don't give him enough credit.
He got a banner in the rafters?
So what?
The thing that you give credit him is putting a banner in the rafters. That was kind of Sam Presti putting in all the work.
I'm done with OKC. They got Collison up there, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah,
I'm done with
mediocre team.
I can't.
Mediocre players
I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Durant has a statue built in front of the damn stadium.
He probably will one day.
Golly.
I mean, do you know who's outside of the Chesapeake Arena right now?
Who?
I mean, you think about it. If you ever come to Oklahoma City, we have statues around the arena, yet people don't know who they are. Those are Olympians that they came in one time for one meet in the United States, and one of the meets was in Oklahoma City. We don't even know who they are. It's just a person running with it.
I think
Like, I'm being serious. We don't know who they are. Like, nobody knows who those people are.
The city
people
does
take pictures next
to brag. The city does it to brag.
The picture puts it up there to brag.
Right.
And I keep wondering, who are these people?
Yes.
And they don't know.
It's like, we're Oklahoma City, the state that you don't like, but hey, we got this. We got these statues. We got these people. Like, they just do it to brag. Like, it's so sad to go to the Thunder game now and just look up and be like, oh, there's Collison's jersey. Whoa, he did a lot.
Yeah, well, that's what I told you. I said, you think about this. You have kids 20 years from now, and they're going to be wondering, like, hey, Dad, who's that player right there? Number 4. Why can nobody else wear number 4? Oh, well, son,
Bench warmer.
he was a bench warmer. He averaged 5 points a game. That's who Oklahoma City decides to put up there.
At this point, I sometimes question.
You look at the statistics. That's what you're going to see.
At this point, sometimes I question, like, why am I a Thunder fan? It's just crazy.
Join me, man. Be a hater.
Golly.
Just work with the people.
All right, so we are 50 minutes in. Oscar, would you like to add something else before we close the podcast?
Man, there's just so much to talk about right now because we can talk about how long the season is and why it needs to be shortened, and the similarities of how the NBA is actually losing fan support and what the commissioner needs to do to get more fans excited about the league, because the league is losing money left and right. People don't realize this.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They've been this year it might actually go up because of the regular season. Like you keep saying, a lot of people don't take credit of the regular season. And I've always said the NBA reminds me of the MLB now. There are just so many games that people don't really care about it as much. I mean, you look at the MLB, 162 games, which is astronomical.
That's
first
lot.
of all. And not all those games are filled up. They're not even filled up like 20% at times. You look at the NBA, 82 games. And a lot of times, those seats aren't getting filled up. I think there's just too many games. And the commissioner said, hey, why don't we do 2 things? He said, why don't we make a little tournament at the end? So, like if you're the 7 seed, you go up against the 10 seed. And then in like a 3-game series at the very end. That way, those teams have a chance to make it to the playoffs, and they'll be the 7 seed. And then the 8 seed goes against the 9 seed. That way, it's a little tournament. More fans are going to like that. That's what he said. And another thing he said was, hey, what about for the teams that aren't great? The Memphises of the world now, the New York Knicks of always. What do we do with these teams? And then he said in the regular season, right when the All-Star break is, there's about a week off, right? And these teams don't give you anybody at all. So they said, why don't we make another little tournament there? Whichever team does well, we're going to give them a higher draft pick. So if you're an okay team,
you have a higher percentage.
You have a higher percentage
of landing,
and that way
pick.
It reduces tanking. Because fans don't want to see tanking. Nobody likes seeing tanking. Like, I don't want to go to Thunder games if all we're trying to do is just get a top team by tanking. You're trying to do this for the fans. But this may also not work very well either. Because let's figure out, let's pretend I'm a center, right? Let's pretend I'm a center and I'm barely have a job. And then you see that the best player in college is a center. Why do I want to help you, New York Knicks, if what you're going to do if we win this tournament is get this center and I lose my job?
Right, and then you'll get tossed.
And I'll get tossed. So there's a lot of things to talk about. There's a lot of things in the future that we can talk about. And I think these are going to be greater topics for later podcasts because free agency is still hot. Free agency is still determining teams that are going to make it and what teams are not going to make it.
And I'm going to keep an eye on what Russell, man. I am going to keep an eye with a heart broken, but got to face reality, man. It's the end of a Thunder season. I've faced
reality for a few years now.
It's the end of a Thunder era because this was the chance. This was the year for us to make it to the conference finals based on the way the bracket was and team and then the injuries and all that good jazz. This was the year for us to make it to the conference finals, but we had 2 players that we knew about, one, which was Paul George, but we did not know about Westbrook. 2 injured players.
Well, I still tell you, last year was the year. This past season was the year for the Thunder. They had the best bracket overall.
Yes, the way it was positioned, it was perfect.
Portland and then they would have gone up against Denver, and then you would have gone up against Golden State that didn't have everybody.
Yes.
And yet you still produce a first-round exit. That's like the definition of an Oklahoma City Thunder fan is this is the year we have the pieces. We just can't finish the puzzle. We had the pieces. That it's not going to work.
Man, I don't know what else to say, but I think we'll just leave it as is. Keep an eye on that free agency because I think there's still more free agents to come. The Russell Westbrook is going to be a very interesting topic. And that's it, man. Episode 5 comes to a conclusion. Oscar, thank you once again for stopping by. Hopefully the official audio is going to be out. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.